I have a headache, so I've been drinking water, and it's not because of a hangover or anything, but over the past couple days, things have changed with Rivian. Mainly, the Department of Licensing has now allowed educational drives. Well, what's an educational drive? Potential people who want to buy Rivians can now sign up on Rivian.com or on the app in order to do a test drive now. See, if they had the app, they probably already have a Rivian, so maybe they want to test drive an R1S, right? Now, I can't even call it a test drive because it's called an educational drive. No sales are being done while at the spaces or anything like that, but this means that potential clients are able to pick up a key, pretty much, and drive around Seattle with a Rivian to check them out to see if it's something that they like. First things first, puppy tax before we get into all of it. Maple, your udders. Sadie, what are you doing over there? They're billing. They're both just relaxing. But honestly, people don't know if they like a Rivian. They don't know how it rides. They don't know if it's going to be an upgrade to their current vehicle. Because I'll be honest with you, these things ride rougher than what a car does. You don't want a rough riding car if you're used to a car. Now, this is a truck. It's an SUV, it's going to ride like a truck and SUV. Now, this change of heart with the Department of Licensing comes at a very interesting time because, coming up on February 6th, Rivian, along with several owners from the Emerald City Rivian Club and whoever, maybe you, if you're watching this right now and it's before February 6th, we're going to go down to Olympia and lobby to allow some changes to be accepted so that Rivian employees can do some talking to potential clients or potential customers about pricing, financing, and everything like that too, to include direct to sales, because right now they just can't. And from my previous videos here, I'll link you one right here or down below, whichever, they're just not allowed to. But we're going to keep trying to change it. We're going to keep fighting the good fight. Last year I went and it was raining. It poured down. It was horrendous. I had some nice shoes on. I did have a nice rain jacket on. It was a Carhartt Storm Defender, and yet it was raining so hard, by the end of the day, it soaked through. And that's difficult to do. Rivian brought in some lobbyists, per se, in order to try to help speak the good word, as the people say. Knock, knock, can I talk to you about Lord Rivian? It's not really a Lord Rivian, but you know what I mean. They linked us up. When everybody signed up to go to do a lobby, everybody put in their zip code so that they could be matched up with their elected official. Out of Gig Harbor, I got signed up with a couple of mine. My buddy Spencer was down there. He did one term down there, and he was like, I'm done. I want to be back to a real estate agent again. Got to see him down there. Saw a couple of my real estate agents because they were lobbying the same day for something different too. So that was a cool day all in all. But being able to sit down and actually discuss with the different Congress people, House representative people about, hey, why can't you should really allow us to do this? Because look, we're still buying even without the test drive. But to help with EV adoptions, it'd be a lot easier for people to test drive a vehicle, especially if this might be their first EV truck and or first EV. Now with the R2 coming around, there's going to be a lot more interest. Now, there has been some interest and somebody decided to, do a little salute looking thing. I'm not saying that he did do that. I'm not saying that he did, or that's what he meant. And I'm pretty sure that's not what he meant. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But that has turned off a lot of Tesla people. And in droves, it seems like they're coming over to Rivian based on the Reddit posts like, hey, buy Tesla. We're going to Rivian. I'm like, okay. But that's EV to EV. There's not many, there are still some ICE people, ICE internal combustion engine individuals, people with normal vehicles, gas vehicles, diesel vehicles, hybrids, still coming over to EVs. Either it's, Tesla, Rivian, or like Kia has the EV6. I had an EV6, great vehicle, especially if you want to pay like some $40,000 for a vehicle and not $100,000 like this R1. But there is a lot of Tesla owners coming around. Now, see, the one thing that has happened, once these educational drives actually got notified that you're actually able to do them now here in Washington State, they sent out an email to everybody who might have signed up for it before to try to get some information about Rivian. I went down there to the space yesterday, and usually, there's onesie, twosie popping in and out. There's one or two employees standing around just waiting for the next person to help out while the owners, Karen and I went down there yesterday. It was packed. It was it was packed. I look over at Chris and I was like, hey man, what's going on? He's like, we are booked out for like 2 weeks. They have 3 vehicles. They even called in help from other Rivian service areas. I want to say, I don't know, I know another state. And so it's just all like, yo, what? That's ridiculous. That just goes to show you that now people are able to sign up for drives that they want to. And booking out every 45 minutes from the time that they're open till the time that they close is a drive for 3 vehicles. That's a lot of people going through there. And potentially, after they drive, they can end up going to the website and ordering one. Now, the Rivian employee can't tell you that, but I could tell you that. Go to the website and order you a Rivian that way. That's how you could buy one in Washington State. We, here in Washington State, we are already one of the bigger Rivian ecosystems, per se, in all of the United States. I think California might have a speed, and maybe New York, but New York services like 4 different areas around there, like what? Rhode Island, Connecticut, maybe some of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. I'm not really exactly too sure how that works over there, but they're a pretty big one too. But Cali, I'm sure, got us beat out. Maybe even Texas too. But I think we're like number 2 in the nation. Now, that being said, we have a couple more places opening up soon for service centers. Now, I don't know if they're service centers or spaces or what, but I know there's going to be one. I think it's in Bothell. The paperwork just started in saying that they're going to open up a service center there. They have something in Fife. I know something is being built in Fife. Like, just driving there, they're all looking, they're waving, because I'm watching the construction go on. I'm watching progress in that Fife location, and that's pretty awesome. Now, the reason why I tracked that down is because there was a news article out of like Fife's business something saying that Rivian signed a contract, a lease, in order to get that building. So I was like, cool. So I've been keeping tracks on that. Rivian hasn't necessarily given the wink that we're opening up a place there, but it's common knowledge. So what can you do to help? I know what I'm about to go do to help is I'm going to go back on the 6th to go lobby again in order to speak my words, my experiences, my knowledge behind helping people, get into EVs. I find it kind of sad that Washington State pretty much makes it to where I have to try to do the selling for Rivian in order to help drive actual information to the clients. I am just an owner. This is taking a citizen and helping a business that I'm not even hired for to help drive knowledge, understanding, ease people's minds. I'm not pushy. I can't be a pushy salesman because I'm not getting a commission for this. Now, you can sign up with my code and you get 500 points and I get 500 points for accessories, but that's just if you like me and you want some floor mats. Of course you're going to want that. But if you don't do that, you could just buy it without. And I tell you how to buy it without in one of the last videos that I made with you guys. But it's sad that I have to be able to do that. Like, I have to create content that way. The Rivian employees want to help people. I actually overheard one potential customer saying, hey, this is not really that cool. You can't discuss this with me? And he got mad at the Rivian employee that he couldn't find the information that he needed. He was right there. The Rivian employee is knowledgeable and can tell him all the information, everything he wants to know. And then I look over and then Karen's actually helping him out. Karen is just like, hey, I'm an owner. You'll be fine with this. He was looking for information about a dual max or something like that, and worried about like how much power it would have in comparison to like the tri-motor or the new quad motor. And she's like, we really like the dual max. It's still good. And I'm like, yeah, it's still like 600 horsepower. What are you you're not gonna get a Toyota Tacoma with that, right? But that's besides the point. It's honestly just unfair. And I think the more people know about what's going on in Washington State with this law, with the dealership lobbies. I mean, yes, I get it. Okay, I understand what dealership lobbies are there for, and I understand that they're there to protect themselves against manufacturers and sending, the manufacturers, how it all pretty much started was Chevy or whoever sent the dealerships some really bad vehicles that they didn't want to sell, and then they would hold back the good inventory until they sold the bad inventory. And so then that's whenever the dealership lobby came into play, and they were like, no, we're not going to accept these bad vehicles and stuff like that. And so over the years, it's been good. Dealerships, no matter how you look at it, are potentially good for the community. They start a lot of entry-level positions. They start a lot of people with proper training and everything for jobs in the future, especially with mechanics. Now even into EVs with Silverados, Kia EV6s, the Toyota EVs, whatever they're called, the Subaru ones. There are people getting trained in that right now, which is awesome. And so that's going to be an adoption in the future. And dealerships are the ones that are there. But the one main thing that they didn't want, they don't want it to be a slippery slope that if Tesla was able to get grandfathered in, and they're still having a little hoopla about Tesla, being able to sell directly to customers. But if their thought process is if they let Rivian in and if they let Lucid in, because both of them sell direct to customers, there is no dealership. There are spaces, there are educational spots, there are service centers, but there is no direct to sales places here in Washington State. They think if that's true, then the other car manufacturers might try to say the same thing. Hey, just let us sell the EVs directly to customers. And they don't want that. Because the big push over the past couple years has meant a lot of not good headway, per se. Some adoption in some of these dealerships, like the Chevy was like, hey, you have to sell these or else. And some people are like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I want this. Same with the F-150 Lightning. Now, it kind of sucks. So I understand their pushback. And, sometimes some dealerships are good for communities. Where are they making all their profit, though? They're not making it from the manufacturer. They're making it from their service centers and stuff like that, right? Side note, funny story, dock fees, even so, though it says negotiated, dock fees are negotiable in Washington State. I have never been able to negotiate them. I've got them to take an extra $500 off the price, but I have never been able to take, the dock fees off the fee. I'm like, okay, so it's not really negotiable. Someone should look into that. So on February 6th, I'm going to link a sign up for you guys down below. You're going to be paired up with your, different groups, and we're going to go to different offices to talk to either the senators or whoever of your area to discuss, how Rivian can be, how selling directly to customers can be beneficial to the adoption of EVs in the future for Washington State. I know the government went back on the mandate of having all EVs by 2035, but Washington State, I think, is still there. And, I kind of like that because it's dedicated by the state. And I don't expect someone in Wyoming to be forced to go get an EV when there is no EV infrastructure there, to where there's like 6 chargers here in Gig Harbor and we're a small town. So it's all like, yeah, that's probably not good for a federal mandate. I also do believe bringing most of the laws back to the state. But I don't want to go on a political rant here. In fact, I don't even like laws. I don't want laws. Well, I do want laws, but you know what I mean. Don't overstep your boundaries. That being said, so on February 6th, you guys can sign up below. There's going to be some more information there. And once you sign up, and I'm thinking by next week we should have even more marching orders of what we'll be talking about, the timeline of everything. I think they are providing lunch along with some coffee. Some of the owners are going to be able to park up there and show off their vehicles. Hopefully it's nice and not raining. I'm definitely going to show this thing off. Like, look at what you can do with it. Kind of cool. In fact, last year, it was funny. Pouring down rain. All of a sudden, a police captain comes up to us and he starts talking to us. And he was all like just asking some different information, like how does it handle off-road and how, how much range can you get, how much this? And we're like, yeah, we're Rivian owners. So the police captain thought that we were the actual owners of Rivian. So he kept saying, hey, can we get pushed to the top? I was like, I don't know, you got to ask them. And so we kept trying to get the Rivian people over there to talk to him. And he was all like, look, we can't really push that, but, let's talk, because Governor Inslee, Jay Inslee, the governor that's leaving, or if he is the governor still, or is Bob Ferguson the governor right now? I should probably know that. But he got himself an R1S. Now I think Bob Ferguson might still have this 1S. Now I wonder if Jay Inslee still has or ended up buying an R1S as a civilian, I don't know. But that was kind of cool. So they were actually able to check out our vehicles because there was the owners showing the police captain the vehicles. And so that got the governor to buy an R1S. Kind of cool, right? It shouldn't take the owners stepping up to do this. Rivian employees should be able to have their shackles off to be able to talk properly with people about these vehicles. I dislike car dealerships, and I actually really like just hate the whole process of going in and negotiating and everything like that. So it was quite refreshing whenever Rivian, I was able to just go online, pick and choose my accessories that I want, the paint color, the wheels, the packages, and everything like that. Pick that and know what I'm ordering, and there is no additional fees, additional tacked on, like hidden charges that I didn't know about, you know? That was quite refreshing. I had all the knowledge at hand. I was able to research on my computer. You know, you could do that with other vehicles too. But being able to have that made the process so much easier. In fact, I think there's even home delivery for some of these vehicles. I think you could do that with regular dealerships too. But just not having to sit at the dealership for 4 to 6 hours. Just I was able to complete my first vehicle purchase from the day that I ordered to you know, actual taking delivery of it, 4 days. It was quite amazing. This one took a little bit longer because the Trimax was a little bit longer. They were still making it per se whenever I ordered it, so it took me like 6 weeks to get in. Like the day after they shipped it on a train, they started shipping by trucks. So people who ordered the day after me got their vehicle within a week or two. And I took about 6 weeks. That's okay though. I had an R1T, so I didn't need another R1T right then and there. So it was a nice December present. Whew. This is a long-winded conversation, so hopefully I'm still kicking it with you guys. But if you are looking to sign up again, I will have the link below to come lobby with us to help try to get the dealerships to actually, or have Olympia to actually allow us to sell directly to customers. So be it. And if you're trying to sign up for a drive, go to Rivian.com and you can go do an educational drive here in Washington State. Other states it's called test drive, but this is an educational drive because you are learning about the vehicle while you're in it, just teaching you all the features and everything. So it's very educational. There is no pushy sales tactics. There's nothing like that. So if you don't like the sales tactic things, right now this is probably the perfect time for you to actually check out a Rivian. Now, if you do watch this video and you come back and you're like, man, I actually really enjoyed that, after you do a little test, drive, or not, no, after you do a little educational drive, use this code below and you'll get 500 points for accessories and 6 months free charging. Kind of cool, right? I also get that too, so I kind of like free charging. I don't need any more accessories though. Like, I think I bought the entire store. This is like one of the first days that I am not wearing Rivian gear. They need to come out with more so I could buy more. That being said, I hope this actually helped, kind of like giving you the understanding of what's been going on lately in the Rivian atmosphere. What will be cool is if they do start allowing Rivian to sell directly to customers. I keep saying that. I probably said that like 6 times in this video. But that's our end goal. And we're just going to keep pushing the good fight. I never thought that I would get into politics and try to do this. I'll troll sometimes on the internet and try to like talk about politics, but I never actually go and lobby. And this is going to be my second lobby attempt ever. In fact, I think I'm going to see the guy who actually came to my neighborhood. He was the only one that came to my neighborhood and knocked on the doors. And he was, I will say this, he was a Democrat. And I voted for him. And you're probably like, Dom, I thought you might have been Republican. I'm not Republican. I'm kind of independent, more libertarian than independent, but yeah. But he took the time to actually come and meet the people here in this little place. I own a stick-built house, but I'm surrounded by manufactured homes. I got a really good deal on this house, but a lot of people in this area in Gig Harbor don't want to live near manufactured homes because, they're spending a premium on their house. I grew up in a trailer park. I feel right at home. And I'll be honest with you, none of the people who live here are stereotypical trailer park people. They aren't kicking around beer cans. I'm speaking from experience. Don't think that I'm just saying whatever. But we used to party in the trailer parks, okay? But him taking the time to actually come out and do that, I was like, you get my vote for that. Yeah, I might not even put this in the video. So again, I will update you guys once I find out some more information about what's going on February 6th or after February 6th. And I will let you guys know more after I do the lobbying on February 6th. I hope to see some of you guys to come with us. Even if you're not a Rivian employee, even if you're not a Rivian customer, a Rivian owner, if you're an EV person or even an ICE person who believes that, fair trade, fair market, all this other stuff, come with us. Let's have a discussion with the government and be like, yo, this just isn't fair. It'll be fine. All right, you guys have a great day.